Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? We are here to talk about the Pisces full moon at 10 degrees of Pisces on September 1st and 2nd, depending on where you are in the world. It's going to be at 10:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, okay? Now, Pisces full moon, the Pisces Virgo axis is very unique because they are so incredibly polar opposite, right? We have Virgo where the sun is, which is strict, it's structured, it's controlling. It really represents the purity, the purification of self, of consciousness. And then we have Pisces. Pisces is the chameleon of consciousness. Pisces is we are all one. Pisces are ruled by Neptune. Okay. And in the world that we're living in right now, Pisces rules the delusions and the illusions that we see oh so rampantly everywhere. Okay, so this also represents the delusions that we see within our, or we don't see within ourselves. You know, the whole thing saying that, you know, we know we don't know, we don't know we don't know. Yeah. Pisces, from my experience, in my opinion, it rules what we don't know what we don't know. That's it. We know what we don't know, and we don't know what we don't know. And we don't know what we know. You know? That's the feel of this energy right now. It's so you can't put your hands on it, right? That's why I'm calling it metaphysical metamorphosis. This is very behind the scenes. There's a lot of you know, in the last few weeks, we've experienced a lot of this yod energy, a lot of this really trying to pinpoint and figure it out in this fixed, like needing to charge, rah. And now we're coming into this mutable, you know, like, okay, now we, like, as soon as we get this epiphany, aha, it changes everything. Like there's something in our life that is transforming all our lives, okay? Whatever situation you're going through right now, it is changing your life to where it's shifting the very foundation of whatever it is that's going on, or maybe your belief system to it. Like, you know, your job, for example, right? Like maybe, you know, you working at a job and then, you know, it's completely out of your control and you get laid off, and then who knows, the person that was running it started a new company and they want you to come start the new one, but it's a big risk, but you do like working with them. Like there's so many factors, there's so many things moving around that you cannot logically identify what's right or what's wrong. And essentially what's right or what's wrong is how we delineate. That's our conscious behavior pattern. Even our understanding of what is right and what is wrong is breaking down and unfolding. It's literally the fabric of our consciousness that is being looked at to be observed and looked at again to understand it in a different way. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the chart here for a minute because I want you guys to see something. So here we have basically this is the very beginning of, you know, month number 9 in 2020. And I'm not going to lie, guys, this month is going to be tough. It's going to be intense. We have Mars getting ready to go to retrograde this month. We have Jupiter finally coming direct, and we're going to have Saturn coming direct towards the end of the month. But there's going to be a Mars square Saturn aspect going on for pretty much the entire month. Okay, so this is like, look, when Mars is square Saturn, and you know, of course, like we went through the Mars Pluto square as well. Mars square Saturn is more like, okay, here's everything that here's your vision, here's everything you've been working on, here's everything you want to make happen. We're going to slow it down. We're going to make sure that you have to go into every single detail. And you, like, I almost feel like this is like, you know, to put it in perspective, like a special forces selection. Okay. you have to really, really, really prove yourself to the universe that you want this shit. You are going to have to take 100% of your willpower and 100% of your inspiration, your heart, and put it in to whatever it is that's coming at you. And you're doing this when you're already tired, when you're already, hungry. So the reason why this is happening, though, is because the future is going to require our strength. And honestly, this, if you're exhausted, if you're tired, if you're like fed up, fuck, that is a soul level exhaustion. We're not talking about just being tired. We're talking our souls are ready to shift, but it's almost like we have to prove to ourselves that we can keep it going. This is selection. This is like your spirit is stronger than your mind. And this is where we have to prove it to ourselves. So this full moon is setting the precedence for some probably very unexpected things, changes, shifts in direction to be going on. Okay. We also have a few quincunxes here. Now the quincunxes, those are energies that you can't quite put your finger on. Okay. And the big one here is the sun is quincunx to Chiron. Now Chiron is in our collective ego, right? It's questioning how we are bringing ourselves out to the world. What does it mean to be ethical or moral? What is right? What is wrong? Okay. This is asking ourselves the most fundamental questions in the fabric of the collective unconscious. And with Saturn still quincunx the North Node, we still don't know how to structure it or how to bring ourselves out into the world. And while Mars is getting ready to go retrograde, the Mars-Saturn square on top of the Saturn North Node quincunx is saying that we need to do a reassessment of the divine masculine because there is too much narcissism. There is too much toxicity going on in the way that we're going out into the world. There's still too much fucking negativity, okay? And clearly that's everywhere, all right? Not only that, we have, of course, Venus is quincunx to the South Node. So here, we have all these very vulnerable energies, okay? The Chiron, Venus, and Saturn, okay? Our vulnerability and our deepest wound, our divine feminine nature, and our structure. So we have to let go. Either we have to let go of parts of the way that we receive in order to establish more solid emotional boundaries, okay? And but we're not going to really know how to do this other than surrendering. But this word surrender is getting kind of old, like, okay, I get it, surrender, but like, then what? But how? But where? But I would actually say more that instead of surrendering, it's more about finding flow state. Flow state is meditation, in my opinion. Okay, when you find that place within yourself where you lose your sense of time and you're just completely in the present moment and you're in it and you're just tuned in, tapped in, turned on to everything that you're doing, that is a meditative state. That is when the theta activity in your brain is fully alive. That's when you get imprints and visions in your third eye. That is when you can feel energy. And this is where the Pisces full moon brings a microscope to showing, hey, look at this. Looking at our energy, looking at how we're processing all these feats and aspects and areas of our lives. So this process will dissolve and bring up, okay? Now, all full moons do that, but this Pisces full moon in particular, there's a lot of like that unknown, like you can't really put your finger on what you're feeling. You just know that something feels weird or something feels off or I don't know. And what the fuck, right? But the key is that we have to be okay with that. Just be like, all right, you know what? It feels off. I don't get it, but whatever. Because I'll tell you what, if you are not able to approach your own mind or circumstances in your life with that kind of whatever mentality, and you get attached to outcomes, to ideas, to beliefs, to people, to things, gonna have a bad day. Because there's a very high probability that whatever is going on in your life is not going to turn out the way that you think it is. Or there's gonna be some twists and turns in there that completely throw you off. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck, man? But this is part of growing up, right? This is part of maturity. Putting your big girl, big boy pants on. Let the shit be okay. Because really, everything that's going on out in the world, it's all a fucking distraction, guys. What's real is what's in your reality, North Node and Gemini. What's real is the people in your lives. What's real is the people that you love. That's what's real. That's what you need to focus on. And when you're going through this kind of stuff, we really need to have a support system that we can rely on. A support system that will help us to understand what the fuck it is that's going on up here. Because I'll tell you what, if you try to isolate this and not talk about what's going on in your mind, that's going to send you into this little prison, like isolation prison in your own mind. And you are going to just suffer in silence, and that you are going to drive yourself batshit crazy. You need to let it out. You need a pressure release valve. Okay? Mars retrograde, especially in Aries in its home sign, is powerful. It's visceral. It's right there. I think the last time it was retrograde was 1988. Okay? This is a revisiting for everyone, and these are personal planets, so this is a very, like, you know, at home. This is like very close to the heart kind of energy. All right, this is where we have the opportunity to do the work. So during this full moon is giving you the opportunity to surrender fully and feel things that you've never felt before. But the key is to allow yourself to just feel it. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever, it doesn't matter. The learning lesson is to learn how to feel, to be the chameleon. Now, some of us, especially if you have a lot of fixed or cardinal energy in your chart, that surrender, that just chameleon-like thing is not easy. Yeah, not easy. So that's where the community comes in, right? You get around people, sometimes getting with your community and hanging out and being around people that you know and you trust and you love, that is the chameleon-like energy created together, okay? Connection, so important right now, especially with this agenda that is promoting the opposite of connection, social distancing. It's an oxymoron. How are you being social while distancing? It's not possible. Okay? These are ploys to weaken the will. They want to make us tired. They want to make us exhausted, so that we'll just say, like, okay, fine, do whatever you want. I give up. Just make all the rules, whatever you want. A totalitarian state. Well, I'll tell you what. That shit ain't happening. There's too many people that are too awake and too knowledgeable and know what the fuck's going on. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. So we must stand up in our heart, and we must allow this energy to move through us. Okay. So do not try to control anything that is going on in your life right now, because the universe is in charge. And remember, the universe is in charge. What goes, goes. What stays, stays. And it's all good. Okay? So I would like to read real quick the inside degrees for you for 10 degrees of Pisces. It says, an old witch on a windy promontory, she is calling to the sea. Wildly tuned in, staggeringly aware of the overall situation and its call. You respond deeply and with earnest, plaintive engagement with all that is happening. Excuse me. You are profoundly emotional, physical, and personal in order to ground and focus a vaster attunement, urgently and critically mobilize at hotspots. Assigned to tune into everything and make sure all the cosmic bases are covered, inner planes activity predominates. You live within vast worlds and are psychically charged with all that is being taken in. But your central focus is to respond, to report, to send the inner messages, to keep the lines open. Emergency and crisis sensibility inside of things, searching for signs and knowing how to be there on the spot to turn things around by inward force of the magical will. So with the idea of surrender, while being in action, while living your life, right? How do you surrender while actually making shit happen? Okay? The key is that you're coming from a place of being centered, okay? And when you make decisions or you say something from a place of being centered and you get a reaction or a response, okay, this is about whatever your tendency is, whether if you say something and then you're sitting there with an expectation of a response, or if you're going into a situation with an expectation of an outcome, okay, whatever it is, however you psych yourself up to do something that's not easy for you to do, think about this for a minute. Take a step back and think about, like, it could be anything, okay? You're going to buy a car, you're going to sign a contract, for a tanning salon, you're going to the gym, you're going to, buy food at the grocery store, anything at all, okay? Look at where you're getting attached to and surrender that attachment. So it's almost like if you go through your mind before you go into a situation and you think, okay, I'm going to go into it like this, and I normally do this, I get excited or I get attached to, or I get like, I'm going to buy a car, and then like at the very last minute I back out and I want to think about it for 3 days, or like, like what is it, the thing that you get attached to that you always seem to do every time, and it's a pattern, okay? Something that's risky or something that may not even be risky, but it hits you emotionally anyways. Look at these things within yourself, and whatever that thing is, you have to consciously set a plan to respond instead of react differently. And when that feeling comes up, you surrender. You surrender the feeling. Does that make sense? Because really, we have everything within us that we need to figure it out. And Pisces is all about the energy, right? They rule the 12th house. So this full moon in Pisces is letting go. And once we let go, energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. We're letting go of something and we're bringing in something new. So this to me also tells me, because the moon will be conjunct Neptune just a few hours after this, that this is going to give us a lesson or an attunement or a peek in our psychic capabilities. So pay attention to your energy while you're going through the day. Pay attention to your feeling self, to your emotions. Pay attention to what triggers you. There are plenty of triggers out there. Can we be honest? People walking around now, masks on, all you can see is their eyes. And it's like everybody has this look of distrust in their eyes. Either they think you're going to get them sick, or they think you're going to talk shit, or they think that you're going to do something other than being nice. Everybody's afraid of everybody. So I do my best, to try to be at least polite, if not nice. These days, we're having to get creative. It is not an easy situation, and these situations come into our experiences to make us better. So take this time. If you look at it, it's all perspective. If you look at it from that place of, hey, I'm going to allow this experience to teach me, to make me better, so I can master my senses, so I can master myself. Stay focused on that mindset. And as the year comes to an end, after the Mars square Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, Spoopiter, as that goes through, because that is teaching us probably the biggest lesson of all of our lives. I mean, this next 3 months, we are going through an initiation process, especially for light workers, okay? For those of us that are really feeling this energy, take it one day at a time. And allow these energies to come up. Do not get attached to them. Be the conscious observer while you're going through your day, while you're going and doing your things. Almost like, be the third person, be the fly on the wall to yourself, and feel it. And like, okay, I shouldn't do this. This is how I reacted or responded this time. This was good. This was not so good. Give yourself an assessment. This is the perfect time to be assessing yourself, to see where you're at, how you're doing. Awareness is critical right now. Okay. So take that awareness, be diligent about it. Okay. And you know what? It's also too interesting that when you really put all your energy and your focus onto your awareness, that the distractions from the past and from the future just seem to just disappear, because you know what? You don't have time for it. You're focused on the present moment. And the power of now, Eckhart Tolle. It's all about the present moment. The present moment is all that exists, right? And when you focus on the present moment, all those fucking things seem to go away. So it doesn't matter what you have going on in your life. Everybody, there's always something going on in someone's life at some place, some point, sometime, somewhere, anyway, anyhow, okay? That's life's process. The key is how you look at it, how you process it, how you deal with it, and how you manage the energies within you. Okay? If you're getting pulled out of balance, bring it back to the present moment, baby. That's it. That is the answer. And it seems so oversimplified. It's almost like, dude, come on. That's ridiculous. Like, spiritual bodybuilder, like, are you trying to be condescending? Think I don't know that shit? No, I get it. Right. But even, I have coaches, and sometimes when, I'm going to people that I confide in to work through my things, it always, every single time comes back to the basics. Say your mantras, I am lovable. I am proud. I am abundant. I am handsome. I am sexy. I am funny. I am charismatic. I am financially free. The key is you have to believe it. And the more you believe it, the more you achieve it. And that really was what it comes down to. And a lot of the beliefs that people have are being called in to be looked at and purged right now. It's going to be Mars retrograde. We have to get rid of these self-limiting belief systems, guys. Okay? So do the work. Be in the present moment. One day at a time. That's it. So that is my message for you for the Pisces full moon on September 1st. Thank you for tuning in. If you resonated with this, please like, share, and subscribe. Get this out to as many people as you can. I appreciate it. And today, September 1st, is actually that special offer ends today. So if you're seeing this before September 1st, get on that train real quick because it's running out of time, baby. All right. And you can also go on my website, spiritualbodybuilder.com. The link is down below. And my Astrology Level 1 course is available now for download. And that course it's downloadable, so you can watch as many times as you need to, and it's designed to be a study guide. Okay, I show you how to go into your own chart and understand your own consciousness through the own archetypal energies and how I understand astrology in a more coaching fashion. And when you can understand it as your own consciousness, you really start to put the piece together, and that's how you get to learn other people's consciousnesses. So if you resonate with how I interpret astrology and how I talk to you about energy, I highly recommend that you get that course. I think it'll really do you a lot of good, and I would love to hear your feedback on it. All right. So thank you very much. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you on the next report.